Talking about the history of the Amber Alert.
Today our nation saw evil, the very worst of human nature.
My camera's dying. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, Alejandra Rose, and I hope you guys are having an awesome day. I'm sorry for the lighting. It's quite horrible. If I can make it any better on my editor, I will. Today we're going to do another darkest moments in history, so let's get started. I don't know what an Amber Alert is. It's an emergency response system where if a child, mostly a child, goes missing, information of this child or this person, mostly children though, that's mostly what we see on the news, goes out to all media and radio broadcasting.
This Amber Alert issued late this afternoon.
An alert on your phone and on
Amber Alert for...
So we have all heard of Amber Alerts on the news and the heart attack inducing Amber Alerts on our phones. As obviously they're trying to get our attention. It's something that is happening live and it's something super important. Have you ever wondered what dark moment in history caused such a system to be placed? And most importantly, who is Amber? Well, today we're going to explore that in this video, so keep watching. The alert system began in Dallas-Fort Worth when police and broadcasters came together to make a system of where they could get information out faster so that they could save children's lives faster. AMBER stands for America's Missing Broadcasting Emergency Response. Sorry, I had to look down at my notes. I have some notes here, so if I look down a little bit, that's why. This began in Fort Worth. Other communities and states have taken a similar system of the Amber Alert into their communities to help as well. 1996 to 2001, people had started to try to go into the, try to use the system, but it was just not happening. It was very slow, and by 2002, I think only 4 states had implemented the Amber Alert. So in 2002, the White House had a conference where they talk about missing and exploited children. The president appointed the U.S. Attorney General to appoint an Amber Alert coordinator. On April 30th, 2003, the President signed into law the PROTECT Act, which reinforced police officers to investigate, to prevent any crimes against children. This also was a big headway for Amber Alert, the Amber Alert coordinator, to go ahead and work with communities, work with states, and make it a national program for all the states and all the missing children. In 2004, there was more information and more programs put into law enforcement, schools, and anywhere that children would interact so that they could be trained and they could have more information about how the Amber Alert system worked and why it was such a good way, why it was such a good thing to use. So, so I have mentioned that the Amber Alert was a legacy of a girl named Amber that was murdered. So on one afternoon, January 13th, 1996, a 9-year-old girl named Amber Hagerman went out on a bike ride with her 5-year-old brother. They were playing in an empty parking lot that apparently a lot of kids went to because there were some ramps, but it was an abandoned grocery parking lot. After a while, Ricky got tired or just didn't really want to be there anymore, and he decided to go home, and Amber stayed by herself. Just minutes after her brother left, she was kidnapped or abducted from the parking lot. Only 4 days later was her body found. It was found in a creek behind Forest Hills apartment complex less than 5 miles from the parking lot. This part is kind of triggering for some people, so I'm going to give you some disclaimer. I'll put up before and after so you guys know when it's done if you're like zooming past, but this is what they found out. This is what they found out after they found her body, so if So after they found her body, they did an autopsy, and they found out that she had been taken and kept alive for 2 days, and that the person who took her beat her and sexually assaulted her. And I'm gonna not say the very gruesome details, but then they dumped her in the creek. Her murder was never solved. There's only one real theory to this case, and it's kind of a frustrating theory. It's a super frustrating theory. And the one theory I found, I mean, there's many theories, but the one that everybody talks about is that she was kidnapped by a stranger. Just that, nothing else. This came to light because a 70-year-old retired mechanist, Jim Kevill, saw this from his backyard because the parking lot was near his house. He said that he saw Amber on her bike, and that a person came out of a black or a blue pickup truck. He also said that she screamed once and kicked, but he took her inside the truck and left. The thing that Jim Kevill, which was the witness, said was that he was possibly a white or Hispanic male from the ages of 25 to 40, under 6 feet tall with a medium build. So after Jim saw what happened, he called the police, and the police was there within minutes, but they could not find anything. That happens a lot with stranger abductions. They're very hard to solve. There's not a lot of information or clues, and so cases remain unsolved. Unfortunately, forensics could not find any more information because her body was left in the creek and the water washed anything or any evidence they could get from her body. And that was it for her case. They could not find anything else. No information. They could not find the person who did this to her. After Amber's murders, there was a woman named Diana Simone. She was not related to Amber. She didn't meet Amber's family. She decided to contact a local radio station and ask some questions. And the questions she asked were, why do radio stations send out severe weather warnings, but they never send out a warning or an alert when kids go missing in the so people started to question, because what they did know, the police did know about Amber's murder, was that she was alive for 2 days before he killed her. And a lot of people are saying that, so a lot of people started thinking, you know what, this lady's right. Why don't we have these alerts? If we had information that was known to the public, we could have looked out for the car, we could have looked out for the man, we could have looked out for Amber. So now the Amber Alert, thank goodness, is being used in all 50 states plus territories and islands, and it's being used in 20 other countries as well. 897 children have been recovered because of the Amber Alert, and that is so many children. It might not seem a lot with the rates of how many children go missing a day, but from that to nothing is amazing. Donna Williams, which is Amber's mother, she calls the Amber Alert bittersweet because she knows it's something good and she knows it's her daughter's legacy, but at the same time she can't stop thinking, what would have happened if they would have had an Amber Alert when her daughter went missing? Would they have saved her? Would she still be here? I'm really sad. It kind of made me sad because sometimes we take for granted, I think we take for granted our safety and our own personal happiness, and to see so many children go missing. I work with children every day, and I can't imagine one of those kids going missing. Even if they're making me gray at 20, I just can't imagine one of those kids going missing. So it's kind of like, it's a selfish world out there now. But if you see an Amber Alert for somebody, keep your eye out. If you see an alert on your phone, read it, keep your eye out. Please, these kids need your help. Don't let the legacy of that little girl go to waste. Anyway, that is another dark moment in history. I hope you guys, I hate saying enjoyed, it was such a sad story, but I hope you guys found it informative. Hope you guys have an awesome week. Bye.